Alright, Power Ranger fans. Now, if you've watched Once and Always, this won't be a spoiler, but if you have not watched it for whatever reason, hey, go watch it. But I will be talking about one of the main plot points of this special. Now, in this 30th anniversary special we got on Netflix yesterday, Billy has been working with Alpha 9, I believe Alpha 9, trying to restore Zordon. They have a makeshift command center underneath Billy's own company. What is it? Cranston Industries. And it's kind of interesting because, kind of like Tony Stark, he has this incredible, profitable industrialist company. And then, like Batman in the basement, he has a Batcave like command center, which I think is pretty awesome. So he's created, a device that could, I guess you could say, reconstruct Z-wave particles. Basically, the Z-wave andros after he struck Zordon's energy tube at the end of In Space to save the galaxy, or to save the universe. The particles from the Z-wave, Billy was hoping to reconstitute it back into Zordon. So basically, imagine his device like a giant vacuum cleaner that was going to gather all the Z-wave crumbs and dirt particles in the floor and suck them up and put them back together again. However, the device actually restored Rita Repulsa's evil energy. Yes, Rita was turned good by the Z-wave and became the Mystic Mother, aka Power Ranger Mystic Force. If you watch that series, towards the very end, you know who the Mystic Mother is. However, the Z-wave destroyed, or should I just say, the Z-wave wiped the evil from her and Lord Zed and Divatox and pretty much vaporized everybody else, turned them into sand or whatever. So as a result, her evil energy was still floating out there, or her evil essence was still in the universe. Now the device brought her back, or brought that evil energy back into one place, and it took over Alpha 8's body. Alpha 8 was the Alpha working with Billy at the time, and then that Alpha transformed into Robo Rita. Very good origin story. Now, Billy's plan failed, resulting in him getting attacked, his teammates showing up, and a blast intended to kill him actually killed Trini instead. And then that's why her daughter Ming, had it out for Billy for most of the special. But then at the very end, when it was her, Billy, and Zach in the juice bar, reminiscing over Trini, I believe it was Min who talked about how, hey, when I got blasted by Rita and the Morpher protected me, it gave me all these visions of Mom, when she was a ranger, when she was hanging out with you guys, and I could just tell how much you all meant to each other. And Billy mentioned how the morphing grid is something that's, even though, we can tap into it and whatnot, it's still something far beyond our comprehension. And, if the morphing grid was able to bring back memories of your mom and kind of give them to you as a gift, then perhaps I shouldn't give up on Zordon, because the morphing grid can make the impossible possible. And it's like, in a way, I kind of get what he's saying, but I don't understand why that meant, yeah, I shouldn't give up on Zordon. And it's like, bro, first of all, the thing I think you did wrong was doing this by yourself. I mean, sure, you had Alpha to help you, but I think it would have been better, for as intelligent as Billy is, he is definitely up there in terms of the top, minds, or the top geniuses in the Power Rangers franchise. But at the same time, this was a very dangerous stunt, and it cost you one of your own. So if you were to pursue something like this again, which, to be completely honest, I don't think you should have the likes of Dr. K, Andrew Hartford, Cam from Ninja Storm. There are a number of geniuses in the Power Rangers universe who have an understanding of the morphing grid and whatnot. But the Z-Wave, is something that you definitely should think about, because keep in mind, the Z-Wave, not only, as I mentioned before, it wiped out the evil of Lord Zed, Rita, Divatox, everything else, you know, from the Machine Empire to all the hundreds of monsters and foot soldiers that each of them had on the various planets. You know, Lord Zed, if I remember correctly, him and Rita attacked the Gold Rangers planet, and they had a crap ton of monsters with them and putties and whatnot. You had Goldard and, you know, basically monsters of the day, their generals and the foot soldiers and whatnot. And then Divatox, she had a bunch of them as well. I think she attacked the Arquetian Rangers on Aquitar. She had a number of foot soldiers and monsters and generals. Like I said before, the Machine Empire is a freaking empire, and I think they attacked the Phantom Ranger and Blue Saturnian. But in any case, what's to prevent you from bringing back another evil being by using that device to bring back Zordon? That is a very dumb idea. I get it for the sake of, oh, well, this could open the door for a future special or, you know, Netflix series where Billy is trying to bring back Zordon and whatnot. To be honest, I'm glad Zordon wasn't brought back, because as a result, it truly made the special stand out. One of my favorite moments was when Zach was giving Min a speech about how this was after they saved her from the juice bar from being, you know, wrecked by putties. And you could tell that even as adults, Zordon's words to the teenagers with attitude still held weight. It just made you feel like even though Zordon wasn't there, he was there, because his values and whatnot were instilled in the 5 teenagers he selected to protect the Earth. And I really love that. So Zordon not being around allows the other Rangers to step up their game. You know, it's kind of like, man, we can't really rely on Zordon that much. We got to, you know, fend for ourselves. That's as far as awesome as the Green with Evil 5-parter was back in the season 1 of the series. That's one thing I like. Zordon was taken off the table from the beginning, and I truly felt like this was Jason's best moment, or one of his best moments as a leader, where he said, guys, even if there's only a 1% chance, we need to keep fighting for the sake of Zordon and protecting the Earth. Because at that point, you know, they were trying to restore Zordon back to this dimension. And, you know, Billy or Alpha said, you know, there's like a 0.001% chance of saving. It was like, well, hey, even that is better than 0, right? So that means we can't give up. We have to keep fighting, because everybody wanted to quit because the Green Ranger whooped their ass. So Jason was the only one who was like, guys, we have to keep going. And that's because Zordon wasn't there. So I do feel like maybe Billy needs to have a speech or get a, you know, talk about how, hey, you have to let go. But then again, when you live in a world where not only numerous Power Rangers can have their powers restored, the Morphin grid is pretty much the Speed Force, you know, in DC Comics, where it can do anything the writers want it to. You've had dead Rangers revived from the, you know, Morphin grid itself. So yeah, I can see why he wants to bring Zordon back, but at the same time, he needs to go about it differently to avoid another catastrophe, because as dangerous as Robo Rita was, there are potentially other villains out there that he can bring back accidentally. I mean, what if he accidentally gathered the essence of the likes of, let's say, Dark Spectre? I know Dark Spectre was not destroyed by the Z-Wave, but at the same time, his evil essence could still be out there in the universe somewhere. Just saying. Alright, well, that's all I have for this particular video. Pretty much a very bad idea by... I mean, I get the reasoning for why he did it, but the results were disastrous. It's like, bro, I see why Min was mad at you for most of the special, because you unintentionally killed her mom. But at the same time, I feel like Billy, like he said to, you know, when she apologized to him at the end of the special, is like, hey, you didn't say anything to me that I don't tell myself every day. Because remember, he was the one who was supposed to get blasted and killed. Trini jumped in the way to save him. So he's going to have to carry that guilt for the rest of his life. But of course, yeah, Min has every reason to be upset because that was her mom. I mean, yeah, you could argue that, well, think of it this way. She's a Power Ranger. She knew what this job entailed because, you know, you put your life on the line every time you morph. Well, even before you morph, if the villain knows who you are and decides to come after you. But yeah, I could definitely see Billy taking a lot of guilt to the grave on that one. I mean, but unfortunately, due to the actress passing away back in, like, what, 2001, we'll never really see her on screen outside of flashbacks and whatnot. But, you know, I'm just putting this out here. Who's to say that Billy wouldn't try to bring back his friend? Just saying. All right, well, with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.